Hi, I'm Kimono Rider, and today I went for a ride around Chiba. In this video, there's nothing particularly interesting to watch in terms of scenery, unless you're a very big fan of fields. But the purpose of this ride was just to play around and experiment a little bit with video footage. However, I did learn a lot, so this video is basically just me going through some of the things that I learned on the ride. First of all, I learned the hard way that kimono sleeves cannot handle high wind speeds. I started off with my sleeves down because I didn't realize how windy it was, but I realized as soon as I left town that I needed to do something. So I stopped at a convenience store and tied up my sleeves in a tasukikake, but the stitching had already come apart and the damage was already done. I'll have to repair or upcycle this fabric, but there was nothing that I could do about it while I was still out. I did have fun trying out some different camera angles though. It was good to learn not only what angles might look good, but also what feels good when I'm riding. Some of them worked, and some I'm not so sure about. Some of those angles really didn't work though. This was the first time I tried to do this kind of double ribbon obi musubi, and I was worried that it wouldn't be secure or hold up after a full day of riding, but actually I was incredibly pleasantly surprised. It stayed in place so well that I think it almost looks like a pre-tied obi, but I don't own any of those and also wouldn't trust them on a motorbike anyway. I do think it looks super cute though. The last thing that I learned on this ride is probably the most embarrassing lesson because I really shouldn't have needed to learn it. I know I look pretty small on camera because of the angles and the proportions that my outfit and helmet give me. However, I am actually quite tall. And because I am quite tall, I formed some bad habits when it comes to stopping. Because I'm able to stop my motorbike and plant both feet flat on the ground, I got into a bad habit of doing that on flat surfaces instead of having at least one brake engaged, which I obviously do now, regardless of the road surface, but I didn't do it on this ride, which led to this. I was getting into some twisties, but the road was incredibly narrow, and my camera was in a somewhat exposed position. So I thought, okay, the responsible thing to do is to pull over, bring the camera in so that it doesn't extend beyond my bike at all. And yeah. A drop bike is no biggie, I'll just pick it up, but I don't want to be on the roadside, so I'll lift it from the protected wall side and heck, I just burned myself on the muffler. This is the result of that drop. Just a few scratches and bumps, purely aesthetic. And then there's my shin, where the motorcycle protector tights melted into my skin, and I still have a visible scar a year later. Another lesson learned the hard way. I now wear ballistics material instead. I was hoping to go to a fireworks festival scheduled for the evening, but with the wind continuing to whip up, and with my pride a little hurt, I decided to call it a day and I rode home. Honorable mention, when I was eating an ice cream at a convenience store, and so obviously not filming, some police officers in a patrol vehicle pulled up and told me that they liked my outfit. And I also had this lovely interaction with some truckers.
What? ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。少し暑いなんですけれども。
Thanks to them for being nice, but I'm embarrassed by compliments, so bye. Anyway, bye for now and see you in the next video.